Hey, all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at something special. This just arrived yesterday for Valentine's, my Valentine's Day gift. Who needs a box of chocolates when you can get a Star Wars Vintage Collection Razor Crest vehicle? Of course, this is from Hasbro. It is not this past year's, but the year before that's Haslab campaign for Star Wars, which I did back. Obviously, last year's was the Rancor, the Black Series Rancor, which did not get funded, and I wasn't even planning on trying to get that one. So it didn't bother me that it didn't get funded. But this one definitely interested me, even though obviously when this campaign was live, we none of us realized the ship was going to be obliterated, which I believe happened like right after the campaign ended. Nevertheless, even though it was destroyed in the show, it's a pretty cool vehicle. You can see it definitely has a hefty size to it. It's actually fairly heavy, as I'm holding it up here to be on the camera. Comes in your typical vintage collection packaging. You've got the image of the vehicle, the toy on the front, set up in a scene from that looks like it's from the TV series, with the Mandalorain and Grogu and such standing there, some other figures. And then on the sides, it's just black and white images. You do get some images on the top showing the features, and then on the back there, it is just basically an uncolored image of the same one that's on the front there. Now, one thing I do want to note, even though this comes in a standard shipping box, mine managed to get dinged. I don't know if this happened before it shipped or what, but the corner here on this box is definitely kind of bent up a little bit. So not a big deal because I'm going to be opening this, and I don't think there was any damage to the actual toy inside. But if by some chance you're a mint in box collector, that might be something that you would be annoyed with. I don't know why you would buy something like this and not open it, but nevertheless, mine did. My box here did get a little bit damaged there on the corner. All right, so let's go on and open this thing up, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. Okay, so now that I've gotten the vehicle open and had a chance to work with it a bit, I thought I would go on and share my thoughts. So this isn't going to be a full-on in-depth review. This is basically just me giving you a look at the vehicle and then sharing my thoughts on it. So, like I said, don't expect a full-on review here. But I will say, out of the 3 Haslab campaigns that I've backed and currently have in hand, this is the first Star Wars one that I've gotten, but the other 2 I have are the Transformers Unicron and the Hasbro Marvel Legends Sentinel. And out of the 3, this is probably my least favorite, the one I'm maybe a little disappointed with. It's not a horrible ship in any way, but I feel like a lot of the things on it don't work that well from a practicality standpoint. A lot of the play features on the inside of the ship, it's very hard for somebody with big hands like me to access much of the stuff inside the ship with the way it's designed. You've got the side panel, and then you've got the panel on the top that you can take off. I feel like it would have worked better maybe if you could just take off the entire top of the ship. I don't know from a design standpoint how well that would have worked, but I definitely feel like that would have made the ship more easily accessible for somebody like myself with, large hands. If you're talking about a kid, they might have an easier time, but just things like the weapons locker and trying to get all those little weapons into the weapons locker clicked into place, that's near impossible with somebody with the hands my size, at least from every time I tried it. I would try and reach in there and get a gun snapped into place, and it would end up just dropping it because it's very difficult to get in there. And then things like you can hang bags on the sides, but like when you hang bags on the panel that you remove and then you try and put the panel back on, a lot of the bags have a tendency just to kind of fall off when you click the panel into place. The carbon freeze people, which you snap on to the clips on the roof on the panel that you take off, you have to have that position just right if you want to be able to snap that top panel back on. And then again, I found that those will have a tendency to just kind of fall off, pop off when you're putting the panel back on. So just like I said, a lot of those things, which, I give Hasbro credit for trying to do, were episode accurate, to the series, but they just don't end up working as well. I will also say that overall, you would kind of have thought this would be like, this was a Haslab project. It should be Hasbro's best vehicle, or maybe second best vehicle, under the sail barge, which I don't have. I never got the sail barge, so I can't really compare that to this. But I will definitely tell you that the Millennium Falcon they did years ago, the BMF Millennium Falcon, in my opinion, that is a far superior vehicle to this one. Very detailed like this one. And this one is nicely detailed, especially on the outside. I do like the metallic silvers and the worn look of it on the outside. It will make a fairly nice display piece on your shelf, which I guess is what I primarily got it for. So from that standpoint, definitely, I think they did a good job there. But you definitely can't really just have it as a display piece for action figures on the inside. Even in the cockpit, you don't see the figures very well unless you have the canopy open. And you do get the Mandalorian figure with the soft goods cape so that he can sit down. However, I will tell you that I had difficulties getting him to hold both of the handles on the steering column. So I don't know. It was kind of difficult to get him to keep both hands on the steering wheel. And then again, once you close the canopy, you really can't see the figures very well. So like I said, compared to the Millennium Falcon that had lights and sounds and stuff, I just feel like this one is a little bit on the lacking side. I think it would have been cool if they included some lights like in the engines. They did give you translucent plastic on the back of the engines, which do pick up the light nicely. But I feel like if they had added some lights there, that would have been definitely a cool feature. Things like the other figures they included, the Grogu and the Jawa. Now these come on card backs. The Mandalorian figure does not come on a card back for some reason, but these two do. They are unique card backs. But like I just I mean I already have Jawas, I already have a Grogu. You do get the metallic silver on the pram on this one, but I mean that's not even really show accurate to me. Because I don't recall it ever being that shiny in the TV series. So I think they did that to differentiate it from the regular retail version, but I can't say it really adds much. You do get the eggs with the Jawa, but again, I probably could have done without either of these two figures. And the Mandalorian, obviously, I have Mandalorian already, but again, this is the only one they've done with the soft goods cape. So, the other ones that they've done wouldn't really sit very well in the ship. But I don't know. So, comparing it to the Millennium Falcon, I definitely think the Millennium Falcon is a much better ship. And obviously, if you've already pre-ordered this one, there are definitely things I think you'll like about it. Again, it does display nicely. The outside details of it are really nice. You get both the landing gear. Now, the landing gear don't actually go up inside the ship. You just remove them if you don't want to use them. There's some flaps that you can close. And then they've given you the flight stand. Now, the flight stand is not articulated. You just set the ship on top of it and it stays in that one position. And I kind of understand that because the ship is fairly heavy. And if there was any articulation of any type on the stand, it probably wouldn't work very well. But that's the one. If you're going to use the flight stand, that's the one position you basically can get it in. And it looks like it's kind of taking off. You've got other things like a cannon in the back, a hidden cannon in the back. You can pull off a panel and pull it up, which is kind of cool. You get the rotating cannons on the front. Another feature is an escape pod. I guess it's an escape pod that's on the top of the ship. Now, it's something I don't think we ever saw in the show. However, like with many of the features, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. You can open the pod up and you can put a figure inside, but like the window is done painted black, solid black color. They didn't use translucent plastic, so it's not like you can even have the figure kind of looking out the window of the pod. So again, there's really not a whole lot you can do with it. You get a bunch of panels that you can take off on the ship. There's an engine cover, which I will say on mine at least has a tendency to fall off fairly easily. So do be wary of that. I don't know if that's just with mine, but I did notice that. I haven't taken all the panels off. You can kind of like disassemble it like the Jawas did in the one episode. I have not done that. It's not a feature that terribly interested me, but that is something that you can do with the ship. But like I said, my biggest complaint, I guess, is just the accessibility of the inside, and being able to use many of the features on it are very difficult. And likely I won't even try. Like I said, I'm not even going to try and put all those weapons in that weapons locker. It's too difficult for me with my hands. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up my thoughts. You know, if you back this and you're still waiting for yours, you know, I don't want you thinking you're getting a total lemon. I mean, there's definitely some nice things about it. It's nicely detailed and stuff, and I definitely will display it on my shelf, which was my primary intention anyway. But I'm just not sure beyond that. There's a whole lot that you can really do with it. A lot of the play features, in my opinion, just don't work that well. So, but hopefully you will still be able to enjoy it. You know, and once you get yours, or if you already have yours, I definitely would love to hear your thoughts about it down in the comment section below. Now, if you didn't back it, but you were like thinking maybe you'll try and buy it off the secondary market, I definitely wouldn't recommend that you spend a lot of money on over what it sold for originally. I definitely don't think it would be worth doing that. But again, hopefully, if you did back it and you're getting yours or have yours, you will like it overall. It's just, to me, like I said, I guess I had pretty high expectations for it being a Haslab project. And out of the 3 Haslab projects that I have gotten already, this is probably my least favorite one. So share your thoughts about it down in the comments section below. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there. And until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.